Telltale signs of the passage of time. Samuel Herring watching his life wither away inside the walls he's confined to. At 67, the former boxer wears the face of a man of long ago.
39 years and 7 months.
You keep track?
Yes, I do.
Herring is serving time for a brutal crime that shocked Northeast Ohio, the kidnapping, rape, and blinding of Phyllis Cottle.
I just want everybody to know I wasn't the man.
Akron, March 20, 1984. A man forced his way into Cottle's car after she left work. He drove her to a vacant house on Bellows Street. Her attacker bound Cottle with speaker wire, raped her at knife point, and brought her to two banks for money. He returned to the house with Cottle and raped her again before driving her across town.
She was leaving her job. Samuel Herring kidnapped her.
Cottle described the horror in our 2004 story.
The next thing I knew, he grabbed the back of my head and started stabbing me in both eyes with the knife that he had in his hand, and that was the last thing I ever saw.
The man doused Cottle in cleaning solution before setting her 74 Buick LeSabre on fire with Cottle tied up in the back seat. She escaped into the arms of passersby. News 5 investigators partnered with the Marshall Project Cleveland to re-examine the case. We went back to a dark era in Akron's history to better understand the heinous crime unfolding in black and white.
A composite sketch the Akron Police Department prepared.
3 months later in June, a jury trial.
The defense emphasizing the question of the mustache and differing descriptions of the gym bag contended that Herring was the victim of mistaken identity.
Herring took the stand. He says this is a case of just plain being wrong.
But I looked at the jury's eyes, all they was crying. You know, I leaned on and told my lawyer, I said, this is over with, I'm done.
A jury convicted Herring, sentenced to 290 years in prison.
Did you rape Phyllis Cottle?
No, I did not. I've never seen or heard or even been around this lady ever in my life.
Do you remember what you were doing on March 20th, 1984? Where were you?
I caught the bus downtown and I left from downtown, went to see my parole officer.
Herring was on parole for 2 previous convictions, a shooting and a burglary.
This is where he met with his parole officer, Case Avenue and East Market Street.
His alibi? His nephew, who was 14. He testified about getting 2 phone calls from Herring around the same time of the Cottle kidnapping.
I signed in, then I left there, and I went to the gym, to the boxing gym, because I was training for a fight.
The case catapulted Cottle and her family into a fight of their own, vowing to never let Herring see the light of day. A mission backed by Summit County prosecutor Sherry Bevan Walsh, wanting to continue battling evil on her behalf.
Them people hate me, and I understand, but it's so wrong. You know, they hate the wrong person.
In 2019, Herring was denied parole by a majority vote, but Herring says one board member suggested he write the Ohio Innocence Project, so he did.
Right away. I care about what people think. I want to prove my innocence, regardless I did all the time or not. I want them to know I wasn't the one that done it.
That time could be now. After we started asking questions, an evidence box was found taped up and tucked away in storage. Inside, state exhibits in Herring's trial: bindings, wire, victim's clothing, car refinisher, and a white cloth. All now at BCI for DNA testing.
What went through your mind after you digested that there's evidence that could be tested and it could free you?
Wow, I just feel like a cloud just coming off of me.
Back in 1984, the state crime lab tried to analyze the clothing, but the testing was deemed useless. Today's technology could bring different results.
Do you believe that these tests will exonerate you?
I know they will exonerate me.
And what happens if they come back inconclusive?
Wow. I just pray they don't. I just pray they don't.
We don't go out trying to find and convict innocent people.
Lynn Slaby was shocked when we called. He was the Summit County prosecutor in 1984.
It was probably next to Jeffrey Dahmer, one of the heinous crimes we had.
Slaby marveled at what technology can do now, yet cautioned DNA doesn't convict or acquit someone by itself.
No one case relies on no one piece of evidence.
Cottle testified she never really got a good look at her attacker, but she would go on to live in the public eye, a champion for the blind.
What is his debt to me? He put me in a prison of darkness for the rest of my life.
Cottle died in 2013.
It bothers me. That eats at me. You know, that the woman passed, I never got a chance to prove my innocence, or to her or to her family. And that eats at me, you know? That really eats at me. That bothers me.
Is there anger towards anyone?
I don't have anger. No, I don't have any anger. I have anger at the system because they put me here. And I just felt like they knew I didn't do this.